So the first card you have for your past is the Moon, yes. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of different things, a few different things in this card. I'm actually seeing two kind of things, but they're sort of merging. You know, I think you had a really difficult time, and I think this was in your recent past. You're not with this person now. I think this was a love connection, a relationship, I think. I actually think, I know this is really harsh, but I actually think you were used in some way. I think they used you. You know, whoever this was definitely lied to you. I can see that. They lied to you several times. You know, and it was horrible. It was really, really horrible for you at the time. You know, you're a really straightforward person. You're a really organized person. And I think, you know, they threw you into turmoil, this person, and you lost a lot of that kind of inner stability that you normally have. That was lost for a while, and I think it's come back now. But it was like, for a while they always change your nature, which is really unusual for you. You have a very strong, kind of stable nature. Not many people can kind of fluster you, but this person did. You know, you've moved on from all of this now, but I think the reason why this is coming up is that, you know, I think there was some kind of reminder of all of this for you. I think you might have, I don't know if you kept some of this person's text, or you saw something about them online or something like that. I actually think you were looking down at your phone and, you know, maybe you came across a reminder of them, a bit like this moon's looking down on this scene. So I think while you're still in this relationship, you know, you couldn't see what was happening at all. You know, this person was really, you know, making you out to look like a fool, really. You're not a fool. That's how they were kind of making you out to be. I'm just looking at these two watchtowers, you know, and obviously when you're up in a high building looking down, you can see everything. And that's how you are now. You can look back and you can see everything, you know exactly what was going on. But at the time, it was difficult for you to see. This person had your head kind of in a big spin. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. So you had this reminder of this past relationship, I think, recently. The other thing I'm seeing is there's someone who you might have been keeping things from. You know, I'm not saying you wanted to keep secrets or be sneaky or anything like that. I think you were just guarding your privacy from this person. You're a very private person and they're not, basically. So I think they just like talking, they like gossiping. They're probably quite opinionated, I think. I think they're quite opinionated about you. I think they know what's best for you, or they think they do, and yeah, they're actually quite vocal about that. That's what I'm seeing. So I think, yeah, I think this is probably a relative. It might even be a parent. That would make sense, with someone who thinks they know what's best for you. And I think they're around you, and that's why it's not always easy for you to be able to hide certain things from them. But you have to do that, you know, for your own privacy's sake. Otherwise, they'll kind of take over. That's what I'm seeing. I actually think you're very, very relieved that you didn't tell them about this past relationship, or at least you didn't tell them the details of what had happened. And I'm really glad you didn't tell them, because I think they have this idea in their head that maybe you can't manage things on your own for some reason. And I think knowing this relationship and this kind of way that you're kind of hoodwinked in that, I think if they knew that, this would kind of confirm that for them, if that makes sense. They say, aha, I knew this person couldn't do anything for themselves. They need me, you know, it's that kind of thing. You know, you're a smart person. Don't ever doubt yourself. You know, a lot of people, really, really intelligent people, actually get themselves into bad love situations. You know, it happens all the time, and you've learned from it. So, you know, don't ever think that you're stupid or foolish or whatever to get yourself, to have gotten yourself into this situation. Obviously, if this is a relative who's, you know, making you out to be a bit helpless, that might be kind of, you know, poking at your confidence a bit as well. Don't let them do that. You're a very, very smart person. You know what you're doing, and a lot of people fall for these kinds of things. So the next card you have your past is the Six of Pentacles. Yes. yeah, obviously this is about imbalance, and obviously it's about money. So yeah, I think this person did take advantage of you in some way, maybe when it came to money. Again, don't go around blaming yourself if this happened to you, if this is resonating. I think to look at this person, this ex of yours, you would never ever imagine they would ever be like that. Ever. You'd never take them for someone as someone who you wouldn't trust. So, don't blame yourself. Again, I think this relative probably does see you as a little bit helpless, or as someone who needs them. And, I think you've actually avoided their help in the past because firstly, if you accepted their help, they'd have a lot to say to you about it. And they'd probably be telling you what to do. And they'd be telling other people as well. They'd be saying, oh, yes, I had to help this person. They're so hopeless. They need my help and all of that kind of thing. So, you're just so private. And I think even the thought of that happening, makes you want to run in the other direction. So please run in the other direction from them. I would too if I were you. Yeah, look at this dog and this wolf in the moon card again. I'm just looking up at that again. It looks as if they're yapping or gossiping, and the poor lobster's trying to get past. He's trying to kind of sneak past. So yeah, you'd rather be in any situation, anything at all, than face being discussed or gossiped about, and I can understand that totally. So the last card you have your past is the Chariot. So yeah, again, this man's surrounded, he's completely protected in this sort of box. And that's what you're doing. You're insulating yourself, protecting yourself. You are in control of things. You're probably more in control of things than you thought you were. Sphinxes can symbolize a lot of different things, but they symbolize mastery as well, or they can. And, you have mastery over your own life now. So you've got yourself totally back together. You're on track again. I am seeing some love around you as well. So, you might be in another relationship now, or you might just be talking to someone, but you're not saying much to people about this. You're keeping this a little bit quiet. And I think you're also being a bit quiet about them on social media. You're not hiding them, but I'm just getting this feeling that you don't want to kind of leave yourself open to talk or questions or whatever. And I think they're the same way about you as well. They're not hiding you either, but they're not kind of advertising you everywhere. They do have someone from their past. They have a difficult ex from their past as well, but I think they can be a little bit of a loose cannon, this ex, so they're probably laying low a bit because of that as well. So yeah, just watch out. I mean, if this all resonates with you, if you're with this person who has this kind of ex who's a bit like this, I think this ex of your partner might be watching them maybe, but if they're trying to find things about you out online, it won't be easy for them because you're well hidden, you're very, very private. I keep on seeing how private you are. You're safe, don't worry about that, but they're definitely watching, and I'm just looking at these stars on this Chariot as well, and they're probably watching readings about them as well. And I just saw this just came into my head. This ex of theirs is totally different to you. They're the complete opposite of you, actually. So I just saw that as well. So yeah, the first card you have your present is the Nine of Cups. Okay, so this is a little bit strange. I hope it's going to make sense to you. Yeah, there was one particular thing I think you were keeping to yourself, and I think this has something to do with a situation that's impacted on your health. It might have even impacted on your mental health, or maybe it's that you have a health problem and that's kind of gotten you feeling a bit down. So, it might be that as well. But I think some things might have been hidden from you around this. It's like they weren't clear to you, or something like that. So whatever this problem is, it does impact on your day-to-day life. I can see that. I've seen that in your readings before as well, I think. And what I'm seeing here is something's going to be uncovered around this. You'll find out some information or something like that. And yeah, it's going to help you with whatever this problem is. You know, you're going to be really relieved, actually, but also a little bit annoyed that you didn't have this information available to you before. It was hidden for some reason, a bit like this man's hiding whatever's behind this curtain. He looks a little bit smug as well, so I don't know if this was done deliberately or not. You know, this card can also be about wishes coming true. So, you know, you've been wanting to solve this for a long time, and I think you're finally going to be getting some answers. Yeah, this is what you've been hoping for a long time and wishing for, an answer to all of this problem or whatever this is. And it's going to be really, really helpful for you when this information comes in. So that's really fantastic. I'm really happy to see that. Yeah, so the next card you have your presence, the Two of Swords. So, yeah, I think this is how you might have been feeling for a long, long time with this problem, and you might still be feeling like that if this breakthrough hasn't happened yet. Yeah, it definitely will happen, because you have the Wish card and you have the Moon card as well, and the Moon card can be about, well, it can be about a lot of things, but you know, quite often it's this lobster coming out of the worst of things and ascending up, you know, toward these watchtowers. So you have this insight. So, you know, you've really been through a hard time with this, actually. You know, I think you've tried your best not to let this take over other areas of your life, but, you know, it has inevitably. And, you know, I think if this is all resonating with you, I think there were times when you might have isolated yourself, actually, because of this. You know, this woman's holding up these two swords, and obviously no one can come near her. She's also blindfolded, so for a while you just didn't know where you were with this. You're really lost. You didn't know what the answer was. You know, so again, if this is all resonating with you, I'm just really happy to see this this breakthrough that's coming for you. It's just going to make you feel so much calmer and just a lot more settled inside yourself. This is about how you feel about your life and about yourself, and it's going to make a huge difference to that. So that's really fantastic to see. So the last card you have your presence, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, this reading is just all about protection, privacy, needing privacy, feeling things but not saying anything to kind of protect yourself. That's all through this reading, and I'm seeing that again in this card. You know, I think you might be being a little bit distanced, actually, from this person. I was seeing the Chariot, this love connection, if this is your partner or not, or just a love connection. You know, they have a lot of love to offer you. That's what I'm seeing in this card. I think you know that, but maybe you're really preoccupied with a lot of other things that are going on. You know, you have your work. There's also someone I think you might be caring for as well. And, you know, you have this big problem. I'm seeing this health problem. It doesn't have to be a health problem, but I'm seeing that's what it probably is. So a lot of things have taken over your mind, and I think this one big thing's taken over a lot of your emotions as well. You know, I think this person has a lot of love to offer you. Look at this great big sea in front of this queen. You might not be able to see it. I'll lift it up. There's a great big huge sea, and it's right in front of this queen. You know, it's right in front of her, but she's not looking at it. She's looking at the cup. You know, she's looking at her own issues. So I think that's what you're doing. So they are very patient, and they don't expect attention all the time, but just let them know what's going on a bit more. Keep them in the loop. Tell them how you're feeling. Tell them what's going on. I think they'd really appreciate that. You might be doing that, but I think they'd like a little bit more communication from you. You know, they don't totally understand what all of this feels like to you, but no one does, only you do. That doesn't mean that they don't want to know or that they don't care. They really do care for you. So if this is all resonating, try to communicate a bit more with them if you can. You know, they'd really appreciate that. So the first card you have your future is the Ace of Swords. Yeah, I really hope this is resonating with you and you are with this person, because what I'm seeing here is you complement each other, and I think that's why that was popping into my head about you being totally different from their ex, because they didn't compliment them and you do. That's what I'm seeing. This sword has an olive branch on one side and, there's a palm leaf on the other side, which, represents, the masculine on one side and the feminine on the other side. That doesn't have to be, this doesn't have to be about a male-female relationship. It's just illustrating two people that complement each other. It could be anyone, but you complement each other. It's a bit like yin and yang, that type of thing. I'm stumbling my words. I'm doing them all in these readings. I'm just going to blame the retrograde. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, also when you look at this, it's crowned at the top as well. So this has the potential to be a really, really successful relationship. I think you might be the first person in this person's life, actually, who they've been in a relationship with, who's been this complementary. That's what I'm seeing. It's a very special, connection. They have had a bit of a difficult past, I think, and that comes up sometimes, I think, in the way they act towards different situations, problems and things like that. They can be a bit fight or flight sometimes, I think. But I think that might be starting to even out. They're mellowing a bit more, which is really nice, and I think that might be partly your influence. So that's really nice to see. But yeah, this is a really, really, really nice connection. So the next card you have your future is the Knight of Wands. Yes. Again, just watch out for this loose cannon. I'm seeing this person coming up again, this ex of theirs, and that's probably why I've seen them in this reading, because, I think this is like a warning. You need to watch out for them. I'm actually seeing them trying to contact your partner. I'm seeing a few things, actually. Firstly, there's some kind of anniversary coming up, some date that this person has on their mind. It might be an anniversary of when they originally got together, or, it could be anything, but this date's triggering them. It's some important date. So that's come up and it's triggered them, and they think, oh, I'm going to contact them. I'm also seeing some information that I think they're going to come up with, and it's false information. So if you hear this information, it's not true. They're going to say something that's not true, some kind of made-up thing. It's strange because I'm actually seeing love around them, so they might even be with someone else, but they're still pursuing this. I don't know why that is, and they're angry as well. They're not going to bother you. I'm not seeing them coming after you or anything like that. I think your partner might even try to protect you from all of this. So if you find them being a bit moody, upset, preoccupied, and you're not sure why that is, maybe that's because this has all come up and they're kind of trying to protect you from this. But again, they'd like to have your support in this as well, so ask them about it, communicate. There is a little bit of a communication problem there somewhere in this connection, so you both need to do a bit more communication. That's what this is telling me again. Just watch out for this person, this loose cannon again. So the last card you have your future is the Six of Wands. Beautiful. This is the victory card. So yeah, I think this is about this information you're getting about this problem. I actually think there's something you've always suspected around this, and this information's going to confirm this for you. So it's like you're going to feel a little bit like, oh, I knew it. I knew that's what it was. I thought that was what this was. And this information's going to come out. It's going to, I can't think of the word. I don't know what's wrong with me, but yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. You're going to be thinking, yes, I knew that's what it was. I was right all along, that kind of thing. And yes, you're going to feel victorious. This is the victory card. You're going to feel this victory when it comes in. But yeah, it's going to make a huge difference to your life emotionally, physically and mentally, because I think you're actually going to be able to take action on what it was that you suspected all this time. I hope that makes sense to you, because I know that's a very specific thing. But yeah, Virgo, I hope this resonated with you, especially the relationship. It sounds absolutely amazing. But as you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if that's what you'd like to do. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.